much clutter on the table right here?
Huh?
Always clutter. Always clutter on the table. All right, guys.
You're the one making clutter.
And we're live. Welcome to another episode of the Mirabella Mindset. Literally, today's topic is about mindset. And I feel like mindset's the barrier between success and failure. It's literally just your belief on whether you can achieve the result that you are dreaming of or not, and the conversations you have with yourself. The stylist today, for whatever reason, has this imagination and this mental block of what's successful and what they're capable of. And I feel like when you see people on Instagram and you have this huge audience, you feel like that's the goal. The goal for you should be to get clientele. And because you don't have 10,000 followers, because you don't have 100,000 followers, you kind of give up on either posting on social media or just trying to even like give it your all and 100%. But people have to understand everybody starts at zero. And that person, had they had the mindset like they couldn't do it, they would never have achieved anything great. And so it's up to you to tell yourself that no matter what, you will achieve it. And it really does start with your conversations you have with yourself. And that mindset, I mean, me and James talk about mindset all the time. And innately in our country, we're here in the States, I'm sure it's like this everywhere, to be honest with you, is we're indoctrinated to be negative. The news is negative. It's always like, poor me. There's always a reason why. There's always an excuse. And it's okay. You think it's okay to have this belief system, but it's not going to work out for me. Or it's always hard. Only the rich get rich. And this negative mindset is in every area of your life. And typically, it's just what sells.
Nick,
Like-
put your mic closer to your mouth.
Yeah? Is that better?
A little bit more.
It's in my mouth, James.
Oh,
Yeah.
turn up the
What mic is it?
one.
Mic number one?
Should be.
It's up. Yeah. Maybe they got to raise their volume. Can you hear me now? Take it off. You can hear me?
They hear you. The levels are coming in low. You might have to turn up that thing.
All right, I'll
Hold on,
kick it up
hold
high.
on. I got it.
Yeah, it's on your end?
I got it.
All
you
right.
go.
All right, we're good?
Yeah.
We're kicking it off? Where was I at? Where we at with mindset?
How everybody lives. Everything is negative and it's
Yeah, like even.
See?
All right, cool. Now we're back. So
in the zone.
it's like when I post to social media, I'll trigger shit. Like I'll have engagement posts that I do, like just meant to like trigger a conversation, and it's geared towards negative. I try and be a little more positive in the caption. Like when I say you're only slow because your marketing sucks, not because of summer. Like that's obviously a negative statement, but I'm trying to get a positive result from it. And people honestly really blame the fact that it's summertime why they're slow, or they blame the economy, or they blame inflation. That's not the cause. Like you're slow because you're either not good at doing hair, you're not good at marketing. There's another reason why. Because now let's think about mindset here, a growth mindset, because somebody in your town or the next town over isn't slow. So what's the difference between you and them? It's the fact that they're willing to keep trying things in order to see what works. So that's their pathway to getting busy. They keep trying Avenue A. That doesn't work. They try Avenue B. That doesn't work. They try Avenue C. That doesn't work. They try Avenue D. It's the fact that they're not going to give up and they're going to keep on going. So many people try one thing and then they stop because they say, oh, Instagram doesn't work. Doesn't work for me. Yes, it does. It works for everybody. TikTok will work for you. YouTube will work for you. Having a growth mindset and a positive mindset will work for you. And so many people don't know how to wrap their head around having positive self-talk. Start with gratitude. There has to be something you're grateful for. Even the fact that you have the ability to cut hair and have a career. The fact that you have electricity. The fact that you have a salon you're working at. And if you're not grateful for it, you're not going to get more of it in your life. Fixing your mindset around the situation and really trying to look for the best out of that situation will result in something positive. I promise you. If you go into every situation like it's not going to work out for you, guess what? It's not going to work out for you. If you go into every situation like it is going to work out for you, it's going to work out for you. And in my life, I've been up and down. I've had moments where I was victorious, moments where I was failing. And now, as I've been through enough of the failures in my life, I know that they're not permanent. They're only temporary. And I know the wins are only temporary too. They're not permanent. So I enjoy the moments from when I'm in them, and I try and make sure that my times of failure are shrunken down to nothing because I know they're learning opportunities. And if I use them as learning opportunities, then I'm going to be able to grow even higher. So when I fall, I don't fall as low. So that's the important mindset to have around failure or when things aren't going your way. What's it trying to teach you? Like, what is this event, this outcome that didn't go my way trying to teach me, and then learn from it? But sometimes the lesson that you're meant to learn from the outcome isn't really the one you thought you were going to learn. It's something completely different that's going to pay you dividends 2 years down the road. So even though you're like, ah, fuck, what did I learn from this? There may come a time that you're like, holy shit, that's why I had to learn that lesson. It's impacted my life now. So your mindset and dealing with any situation is so important. James, we're going to jump into some Q&A today because I want to see where people's mindsets are around. Like, who has a hard time, if you're watching live right now, like wrapping your head around you making $1 million a year? Does everyone believe they can make $1 million a year if you're living here in the States? I mean, if you're living somewhere in some weird country, I mean, it's going to be a little more difficult, but still, you can still do it, honestly. That right there, that's a negative mindset. The fact that I wanted to project what country you're living in to matter, it doesn't matter. Like, there's people all over the world that make money. I just know how to do it here in America. So, James, is there any questions popping up?
No questions as of right
All right, cool.
now.
So, guys, if you guys have no questions, right, for the Q&A about mindset, you guys should have everything you want. Because if you knew everything you needed to know, you would have everything you wanted to have. And so one of the things that I like to do is I become a student of everything. I ask questions about everything. I have childlike curiosity. So it doesn't matter what situation it is, what I'm trying to learn. I relate that into some area of my life, in business, in my relationship with my wife, in my relationship with my team, in my relationship with myself. That's the most important relationship. Like, do you love yourself? What's your mindset around what do you think about yourself? Do you think you're capable of everything? Like, do you think you can achieve great things? Because if you don't, that's the first hurdle you have to get over. You are here to do great things, and you have to truly believe that. It's all in your mindset. Like, if you go into a situation thinking you're going to fail, you're probably going to fail. If you go into a situation knowing that no matter what happens, you got this, then you'll succeed. So, James, anything on there before I break down the difference between a growth and a fixed mindset?
Farrah Bud said, I can stop my momentum. Perhaps I don't feel worthy.
Ooh. All right. So, Jamie Lynn Kern, if I didn't mess her last name up, wrote a book called Worthy. And a lot of times you don't feel like, that's where imposter syndrome comes from. You don't feel worthy. You don't feel like you deserve it. And how many people on the planet right now deserve to have their success? Like, you ever look at people and they got lucky? Like, are they worthy of it? Like, did someone just get lucky? No, it's about your belief. Like, why do you feel like you're not worthy of it? What's it trying to tell you? Like, what is it trying to say to you? Like, what is missing from your life? Sometimes it's a conversation to have with yourself. It's a limited belief that maybe happened when you were a child, or a negative belief around a situation. So a lot of owners deal with this. All right, so owners, if you feel like you're not worthy to take time off, to lead the team, if you feel like you're not worthy, you didn't put the time in it as an owner, you can't direct your team a certain way, or how are they going to respond when you make a change? That all comes back to you as an owner, like your belief structure and your system on how you feel about yourself. You have to get over that fact of you didn't deserve it yet, because you deserve it because you're the owner now. As long as you follow through on your word with yourself and you follow through on your word with other people, you're always worthy of the outcome. And I'm going to ask you, if you feel like you're not worthy, what are the agreements you're making with yourself that you're not following through on? So many people don't feel worthy because you know your internal dialogue and you know the commitments and the promises you made to yourself that if you're not following through on, that's going to make you feel a little empty inside, and it's going to make you feel like a fraud. So to me, when I make my promises to myself, if I don't follow through with them, that's where I get that mindset or that feeling of lack, or I'm not worthy, or I don't deserve it. But when you're following through day in and day out, always doing your best, you're going to start feeling like you're worthy. And that just comes from your positive self-talk. Like every day, take a look at what you wanted to achieve for that day. And did you do your best? What did you miss? Where can you do better tomorrow? And then take action on tomorrow. And if every day you do 1% better than you did the day before, that feeling of being worthy, you're going to start feeling like, wow, I deserve this. And if you don't really feel like you deserve it, give something away to somebody else. Like whether you're not feeling deserving of money, you're not feeling deserving of whatever the situation is, try and help somebody else out. Try and make somebody else feel worthy. And that always comes back to help you out. Like if I feel like I'm in a space in my life where I'm lacking money, I go give money away. If I feel like I'm in a space where I'm lacking, let's say leadership, I'll try and help somebody become a better leader. And just by me doing that, I learned something to help me become a better leader in my own situation and realize, wow, I'm really good at this. So if you're not feeling worthy, get the book. It's called Worthy by Jamie Lynn Kern. James, any more questions there?
HC3 Face says, yes, been healed from a victim and orphan mentality. I can't pronounce her name, but I hope you are well. I really want to know if does it work doing models and posting them. I mean, using stock for 10, 20 models. My partner believes on that. We should wait until we get to make content from customers.
Okay. I love that question. So the question is this: should you waste the money on products to do models for free in order to bring in people and content so you can attract other people to come in your salon and have them pay to be customers? 100% your partner's wrong on that one. You need to do somebody. Like if you don't have any clients in your chair, you have to do somebody's hair for free. They will pay for the product. So you charge them for the stock. You charge them for the product. They pay a model fee. It's all the product you use. That's what they cover. You're giving your services away for free. The products is what they're paying for. Now, when you do this model call or you do a model's hair, you want to film it for content. You want to get a testimonial. You want to be able to use that content, and you want to be able to ask for referrals. So what I want you to do is make sure your skills are, exceptional, because you have that one shot with that model to do their hair for free, and you have to do it so good that they want to come back and pay you. You have to do it so good that they want to tell their friends about you. You have to do it so good that you get a 5-star review. You have to do it so good that your after picture will inspire somebody to book an appointment with you. So don't have the mindset of, I'm going to get paid first and then do it for free. I don't know where that mindset comes from. Be willing to work for free, okay? Do more than you're paid for, and eventually you'll be paid more than you actually do. And I did models in the beginning when I came back in the hair, and then I quickly, my income tripled and doubled and quadrupled. So you do the models, but don't waste the time doing the models. Capture lots of content. Make sure you get the review. Make sure you get a referral. And make sure you do an exceptional service so they book again with you and they tell every single person how amazing you are. And if you do that, you'll be booked in a matter of a year. But if you don't have clients right now, you ask yourself, why don't you have clients? What are you pretending not to know that you already know? And go work on that. Any more questions, James?
Yeah, Jen Pressman, I have learned so much with Nick's program. It really works. Sometimes second guess myself, but then go back to my first choice with the mindset.
Yeah, mindset is like you will talk yourself out of something for whatever reason. I still do it sometimes. Like I still have negative self-talk, but it's the conversation's quick. Like I ask myself, is this true? What needs to be true about this situation that I'm in right now to make this not true? Like if I'm not a good hairstylist and you have that self-talk, I'm never going to get busy because I'm not good at cutting hair. Okay. That might be true, but I'm getting better at cutting hair. Like I'm going to be a busy hairstylist because I'm learning every single day. Do something to make that true. If you're learning how to get better at cutting hair every single day, you're telling yourself something truthful. And the result of that, of you learning every day how to cut hair better, eventually you're going to be better at cutting hair. So even though you're maybe not good now, you're putting the work in now and you're telling yourself, I will be better. I may not be good at this now, right? But I am working on getting better at this. That's true. So what do you need to tell yourself to make this statement true? And what do you need to do? What action do you need to take? So that's what I did. Like, I may not be good at cutting hair now when I first started, but I'm going to get better. And that conversation, that positive self-talk, having that mindset gave me the confidence to keep on going and never say no to clients. Because a lot of you guys say no to clients because you're not good at a particular thing. Just tell the client, hey, I'm not the best at short haircuts, but I'm great at color. If you want, I can cut your hair. Or once you give me the inspo pic first, go watch like that short haircut by 4 different people on YouTube or TikTok or whatever, and then make it your own and give it a shot. Like, there's no reason why you should be scared to do anything in our industry. Any more questions, James?
80 cuts. How much profit did your salon make when you said, okay, this business will work?
I think like for me, that conversation with myself is when I broke my first 20,000 in a month. I think it was. I broke my first 200,000 in a year. That's when I was like, this business will work.
Jen Pressman, very true. I have a client that one thing, and I know is should be the way I am thinking. I don't know what she's trying to say there, Jen. What are you trying to say?
Scan through up more.
That's all the questions.
All right, cool. Guys, it's Friday, so I know you guys are busy. Hopefully you guys are busy doing clients. But if you're not busy with clients, then you should be on this asking questions. And it honestly, everything starts with this, your vision and then your mindset. First, I want you to have a clear vision, like what your outcome is going to be. And these two are kind of interchangeable for me. Because if you have a negative mindset, then you really can't have a true vision of what you want out of your career. And so I kind of play with them back and forth. Like, do I start with vision or do I start with mindset? Because a lot of people can't really create this 10x vision of themselves, this massive empire or this beautiful salon, because of their beliefs around themselves. So if you guys can't seem to like create the dream life for yourself or the vision or how successful you want to be in this career, have a conversation with yourself about why. Why don't you think you deserve to be a millionaire? Why don't you think you deserve to have 4 salons or a successful salon? Or why don't you think you deserve for clients to book with you? Like, what's the reason why? Figure out what that is. And then go back in the story of your life and figure out when that happened. When was that decision made for you? And did you make that decision? Did you make the decision that you're not going to be successful? Or was that something that somebody said to you? Maybe a teacher, maybe a parent, maybe a relative, maybe a friend's parent, maybe a friend. Like, who planted that seed? And then ask yourself, is that true? Does any person who maybe is dyslexic or has a particular handicap or has something wrong with them that they think is wrong with them, maybe on the spectrum, is every single person not successful? No. There's a lot of people who can't read, write, or dyslexic that are successful. There's a lot of people who maybe have some kind of handicap that are successful. There's a story for everything. And there's a story about a person who has the thing that you have that you're telling yourself you can't be successful because you have that thing that's successful. So find that person and have that give you the inspiration to realize you can do it too. And when you do that, then you're like, all right, I got this. They're not any different than me. I look at all the people on this planet, from the Hermosis to the Vanderchucks to Dan Martells to any successful person in our industry. It could be Vidal Sassoon. And people tell me all the time they need to take a course. They need to take a class. They need to learn from this person, or they're postponing something for more education. And who was the first person? Like, think of Vidal Sassoon. Like, think, because he's obviously famous in our industry. Who taught him? Right? Where did he learn from? You could be that person. Like, you don't need somebody to teach you how to do things. That's how you time collapse your journey, right? That's why coaching's so important. That's why I hire coaches, because I want to learn from them so I can get from point A to point B a lot faster. But if you don't have the money, then you should have time. And if you have money, then use your money to pay down how much time it takes to learn it. But you could get a bunch of mannequin heads. I'm sure if you DM Pivot Point, DM some hair schools, and you just start finding mannequin heads somewhere for a low price. You could start learning haircuts, learning your own system. You could do models for free. Like there's enough people who want to get their haircut for free, I'm sure, that you could practice on. So if you can't take classes from Vidal Sassoon or the next great class, guess what we have today? We have the internet. We have YouTube. We have TikTok. So you have to reframe the conversation you have with yourself about why you don't have the things you have. And 100% it's a mindset issue. James.
Yeah, we got a couple questions before we get into that. Kelly Hair Dreams, if anybody is watching this and thinking to have Nick as their coach, sign up now. It's been amazing.
Oh, thank you, Kelly. You're awesome.
HC3 Fades. Trying to attract people within my community, I'm considering a mascot costume for the main intersection. Is this cheesy or outdated? I'm sort of looking forward to see if this will produce results. Like a sign spinner?
Yeah, I know what you're saying. You want to increase awareness in your community about you cutting. It's a barber?
Yeah, HC3 Fades. He's on the show pretty much every day.
Okay. Why don't you then use your iPhone or whatever camera you have access to, go around and start cutting hair, because we have wireless clippers now, in the middle of the busy weekend. It's fall time. There's fairs. There's farmers markets. Like if you want to get exposure, get the camera up, film you cutting hair in these public events for free. That's what I would do. I would do some cool shit like in the middle of a street intersection, cutting someone's hair. Like, don't be the mascot. Do the thing that you want to attract people for to trigger attention. Be like, oh, wow, he cuts hair. So the mascot thing is not a bad idea. Your head's going in the right direction. But just if you want to cut more people's hair, then cut more people's hair. Go to the basketball court in the city. I don't know where you live, but I'm sure there's a basketball court where you can cut people's hair. I'm sure if you go to the church, you can find like some kind of like the food drives or where they feed the homeless. Set up shop. Say, hey, I want to start cutting hair for anyone who needs a haircut here. Can we work something out? Film that. Put that content out there. Interview the people. Make it heartfelt. Like everyone loves hearing someone's story. So if you were to do a haircut on someone who's homeless and they're struggling, let's talk to them. Let's empower them. Let's see how they got to this place. And then that could be a really heartfelt story. And then you break them off with a donation or you help them out some way. Like maybe that haircut helped them get their first job in the last 5 years. I don't know what the story is going to be, but like do something around the thing that you're doing. That's what I would do.
My salon, Lucine. What's next after my new stylist took models? Have them very pleased, take pics, get reviews.
So you did models. She got reviews.
She's very pleased. They took pics. What's next?
Pre-book the appointment. Call them back up. Like, did you love your hair? Do you have any friends that want their hair done? And then do more models. Like, keep doing that until you're so good you could charge. Be so good they can't ignore you. Like, if you're the best person at cutting hair, put it out on social media, and people will find you. If you're the best of the best, they're going to find you. And don't stop till everybody finds you. DM people, send them your pictures. Like it's you have to be aggressive with it. Like if you want to make money, then go make money. Go ask people. You have to talk to people. Take your phone. I said this last week. Go through every single contact and ask them if they want their hair done. Every single person. Go to every person you follow on Instagram or follows you. Ask them. Ask every person you meet. If you ask enough people will say yes, and you'll get busy. And if you're really good, they'll come back and they'll tell their friends about you. But the problem is a lot of people are scared to do that. Why? I have no idea. Like, what's more painful? Not eating food or being the breadwinner for your family or supplying an income for your family or asking a person if they want a haircut? To me, I would much rather ask every person in the world if they wanted a haircut than have to have my family go hungry. So you guys aren't taking it seriously. Like this should be something you guys take very seriously. Building your business. I know a lot of hairstylists that make a lot of money, and I know a lot of people that are broke. And to be honest with you, there's no difference between their skill level. I'll be flat out honest with you. It's just how bad they want it. It's that I'm never going to give up attitude. And you guys, if you're not busy, I'm sorry to say this, but you're lazy. You are. The fact that I told you guys 2 weeks ago to go DM every single person on your phone, you probably haven't done that yet, or message them, that means you don't want it bad enough. You're not hungry. You have a laziness problem and you have a hunger problem. You're just not hungry enough. Because when you get hungry enough, you'll get off your ass and go do something about it. There's a million people in this world. James.
Next. They let barbers work and open shops in Canada with no school, no nothing, since not considered hairstyling. However, they're looking to force us to take hairstyling programs. This is in Canada. How?
Repeat that question a little more slow, James.
They let barbers work and open shops in Canada with no school, no nothing.
Yeah.
Since not considered hairstyling. However, they're looking to force us to take hairstyling program. This is in Canada. How?
Because you're in Canada. Your government's terrible.
Yeah, they shut people's banks down.
Yeah, Canada's rough. Move to the States. You have a little more freedom here. You have a constitution in Canada. Take a look at the laws. Take a look at the constitution. We have something called the Private Membership Association here. The right to associate, the right to assemble, the freedom of assembly. So we have certain structures in our constitution that enable us certain freedoms. So as long as you're not functioning in the public and you're functioning in the private, no one can really stop you. There probably is something like that in Canada. I don't know a lot about your Canadian laws.
I don't know.
But what you do want is you want to have some kind of system, some kind of structure. I don't really believe in government, but maybe you start a school. Maybe there's an apprentice program. But there has to be a standard being set, and you have to find out why. Like, are people getting jacked up? And obviously the government wants to make their money. That's probably why there's going to be like a licensing thing going on in a school. But if they haven't put it into place yet, then keep cutting hair. You should be grandfathered in at a certain point. So take a look at the law. Yeah, I wish I knew more about the Canadian law. I do have a lot of Canadian clients now in my program, and I'm putting together an advanced tax course for Canada because I think your tax laws are really interesting. Australia by far is the worst. Then I could say Canada, and I don't know the rest of the world. Those are like the two other countries that I deal with other than the States. But yeah, America. Guys, if you are in America and you complain about our country, go to another country. The way they tax you in Canada is horrendous. Australia is even worse. But if you are complaining about the States right now and you're complaining about how hard it is to make money, go to South America. Go to Venezuela. Go somewhere else. Figure it out. See how much it sucks somewhere else. You guys have no idea how well you have it here in the States. And I've said this in the past before. How many of you speak our language here in America? Like, you guys understand me right now, so obviously you speak English. Right? It's a primary language we speak here. How many of you know how to do basic math with our currency? Like, if I give you a 20, can you give me a 5, a 10, and 5 singles? You could break down change. Good. I would hope everyone on this phone call or on this live. Now, how many of you know more than one person here in America? I'm willing to bet every person watching this video. Then, and answer me this question. Why is it, can a man come here or a woman come here from a different country, not know our language, not know our currency, not know another person here in the United States, and become a millionaire within 5 years? That's happened before. But how come they can do that and you were born here and you can't even make $100,000 a year? Tell me. And the only answer is you're lazy, right? And the other answer is you have a really negative mindset. So believe you can do it, stop being lazy, and go do it. It doesn't matter who's president. It doesn't matter who was president. It doesn't matter if there's a shutdown. There's an opportunity to be made here in America, and you're just choosing not to seize the opportunity. So go ahead, James.
Hold on. Do you believe that stylists should charge less than others if they are new but do amazing work, just a bit slower?
I think you should charge for the value you bring and the results that you provide. If you provide an amazing result that is accomplished by someone who's been doing hair for 15 or 20 years, then you could charge for that result. The difference between experience and being new, the only thing that I have to say about that is you're paying me for me not to mess your hair up because I have so much experience. And if I do, I know how to fix it. You don't have the skills yet because you don't have the experience yet. Like there's anomalies out there. So if you're an expert at something, like if you're the best of the best, then charge for it. Think of like athletes. Just because someone comes out like new into the NBA or to football, they're 18 or 19 years old, they get paid tens of millions of dollars. They get paid more than some people who have been doing it for the last 10 years or 8 years. It's because they're the best. They've been playing the game a lot less than someone who's been playing the game for 10 years more than them. And they still make more. So are you worth it? That's what I have to ask you. Now, if you're a little slower, where I'm at in the Northeast coast, we don't like slow. We're in a rush. We got places to go. To me, the faster you are and the quicker you get my result, the more I want to pay. So if you can guarantee your result and you are a little slower, I don't think that matters. I think you should charge what you feel you should charge. Don't undercut yourself because you want to make sure that you're getting paid for what you're worth. It's a good question, though. What else we got in there?
We got great guy, good advice, got a good heart from Jimmy Gambati. Strong Italian name.
Thanks, Jimmy.
IBPR, advice for someone dealing with burnout / overcoming burnout working in a salon.
Ah, burnout. You guys, I fucking love burnout. Why are you burnt out? I have to ask you that. First, let's address burnout. All right. How are your eating habits? How are your workout habits? Do you drink enough water? Do you drink alcohol? Do you do drugs? Why are you burnt out physically? Let's go there. Now, why are you burnt out mentally? Are your goals not big enough? Do you not have a big enough why? Are you doing everything you should be doing and you're not getting the result? Like, let's talk about why you're burnt out. I wish I could pull you on, like, so we could share these calls, but I don't think we can on the live stream that we have. So, to me, I'm a go-getter, right? I've been doing this how many days in a row now, James, during the week?
This is episode 33.
All right, so I'm 33 episodes into this podcast or this live. I'm like 3 weeks in. How many weeks in? I don't know. So I would get burnt out, but I have a bigger vision, a bigger goal for myself. So to me, like, how big's your dream? I just don't. I don't believe in burnout. I believe in not having your actions aligned with your vision, and I believe in not taking care of your body. If you need a day off, I get it, right? Like if you truly are burnt out, but you have to ask yourself, why are you burnt out? Because if you love this, if you love cutting hair, you love doing hair, you really shouldn't be burnt out. Now, there's a 7 habits of highly effective people. I'm going to say that. And the 7th habit, I believe it's the 7th habit is sharpen the saw. You have to take time, right? You have to take time to sharpen your skills, sharpen the saw, chill out a little bit. What I love telling my stylists or my owners, if you're on the go-getter attitude, right? If you're on a mission to succeed, if you're going to fucking put your head down and work your ass off and outwork everybody else, plan a day 90 days from now, 3 months from now, 10 weeks from now. Give yourself some time to really work hard every single day. Give yourself 2-3 days off. Like, block your calendar, block your book so no one can book an appointment online, and you give yourself that time to reflect, take a look at what just happened the past 3 months. Where can you make a change in direction? Where can you pivot? How can you rest your body? How can you rest your mind? And then you go on another 3 months. I would do that now because holidays are coming. We're going to get busy. Now, when that time comes in 3 months from now, if you don't feel like you're burnt out, you're good. I did this when I was working every single day trying to grow my salon from $0 to $1 million plus a year. The reason why I set these times in there is because I really did. I was working from 9 in the morning till 10 o'clock at night, and I was getting tired. Are you working like that? Are you working 7 days a week?
She said because she's got starting to get carpal tunnel. I love doing what I do, but I feel like I gave a lot out of myself, and now I don't look forward to going to the salon. She also said.
Oh, because your body hurts. It's the culture, right? Fix what's wrong. Are you blaming the wrist, the carpal tunnel? I did hair a lot. My wrists are fine. Like I outdid most people with hair. Fix your technique. That's one thing you should be doing. Stop doing blowouts. Stop doing things that are going to hurt your wrist. Get some proper PT. Make sure you have an anti-inflammatory diet. Take things to help repair your carpal tunnel. What I would do is if you're that experienced, this is the amazing thing about our industry. What can you do in our industry to reignite your passion again? Because you see, it sounds like you've been doing this for a while. Could you become an educator? Could you teach people? And if you have a knowledge-based business, like take a look at any of the educators out there in our industry. There's so many of them, and half of them suck. Like half the coaches never owned a salon before, and they're trying to teach people how to own a salon. Like half the coaches never really led a team before, and they're trying to teach leadership. So to me, like if you're experienced, you can teach people in our industry because you have the track record, you have the experience. So if you were to open up your own knowledge-based business online, where you teach, techniques, how to cut hair, how to color hair, how to do a consultation, how to be professional, a couple different areas that you're an expert in. You start creating content towards that. You start educating people for free, get people in your circle of influence, start charging people for that. You can make yourself an extra $10, $20, $30, $40,000 a month just by teaching people online. Teach them authentically, teach them experience, and teach with passion, and you'll build another business from everything you just learned in the last 10, 20, or 30, or 40 years that you've been doing this. That's what I would do if I were you. That's what I'm doing right now. I have a coaching business. I get more fulfillment out of helping people become successful and helping them become better leaders, helping them with their mindset than I actually did doing hair. And I loved doing hair only because of the conversations I had with my clients. That was my main thing, was the connection with people. So if you're going to miss that connection with people, find out why your passion went away and figure out what you could become passionate about in the next stage of this industry, in the next chapter. Because you might have just exhausted this chapter you're on right now. So that is a possibility.
Okay, next question. Autumn Scheiss. I don't feel supported by my peers. I get so many views on my content, but low engagement. How can I fix this?
All right. Autumn, I think we have a one-on-one today, too. We do, right after this call. You are a superstar, right? You make people feel uncomfortable. And that's okay because they feel uncomfortable because you bring out something they should be doing and then you make them feel bad about themselves. So they're not going to engage with your social media and they're not going to live up to your standard because you make them feel inadequate, unfortunately. And I mean that with all due respect, and that's a compliment to you. Your engagement, your social media needs to trigger more of a conversation. You need to be more of yourself and piss more people off. You have a big voice and you have a lot of knowledge in this industry and you have a lot of disdain for the way people act, the way they lead, the way they run their salon, the way they run their business behind the chair, the way they manage their money, their mindset, the way they treat clients. If I were you, I would start calling them out, not by name, by situation. And you're going to get a lot of comments from that. That's going to be a lot of engagement. But guess what? You're going to get a lot of people who agree with you. And you're going to help more people with that type of content because you're going to make them wake up to the shitty stylists that they are and the shitty finances that they have. And you're going to help them realize like, wow, maybe I am the problem. And maybe there is an opportunity for me to grow here. I'm going to follow Autumn because I'm learning from her stuff. And so that's what your content needs to do. I don't think you're in your full stride yet, which is cool. I've been posting every day for a year to get there. You're going to get there. So you got to make sure, like, what is your messaging? What are you trying to teach people? And you have to peel back the wound a little bit so they kind of see, like, where they're hurt. If that was a good metaphor, I'm not really sure.
And that's a sneak peek into Nick's coaching program. We have, hold on.
A lot of times, guys, I'm going to say this for engagement. Some of your most engaged posts won't convert into clients, depending on what you're trying to do to get clients. But if it's 20 people who engage with your post and you really had a true message and you were speaking to your ideal client and they liked it, more than likely they're going to want to come to you for your services that you provide. Like your fun, catchy, stupid dances might get like 1,000 shares or 1,000 likes. It doesn't show you're great at doing hair or you're a great coach or you're great at anything. It's the ones that really have like a narrow audience that doesn't get a lot of engagement that really convert better in my history of posting on social media. So that's why I do a cadence while James is looking for that next one. I'll do like a trigger post for people, and you guys are probably, you've seen them before. Like the one I talked about earlier. The reason why you're not busy is because your marketing sucks. And that's a trigger post. And I get people, no, it's the economy. No, it's COVID. No, it's not. It's not. Your marketing sucks. That's why. Or you suck. It's two things. If you're so good, no one would not want to get their haircut by you. And if your marketing was good, they would learn about how great you are. That's really it. And so when I posted that, people got pissed off. They were probably slow. And they're trying to blame somebody else or blame something else. That's a fixed mindset, not a growth mindset. And so those types of posts trigger engagement. Then I follow up with a little more heartfelt educational post that doesn't get as much reach, but it helps the people who want to listen. Next one, James.
Even if business is slow, should I still increase my prices or stay the same?
Okay, let's find out why business is slow. This is a great, great question. All right. If business is slow, should I increase my prices or stay the same? Let's talk about why your business is slow. Is it slow because you're not good at marketing? Or is it slow because you aren't good at cutting hair or coloring hair? Let's talk about those. And when I say marketing, I mean like, do you have a referral system? Do you ask them to leave you reviews? Do you do email campaigns? Do you pre-book them? Like, what is your client attraction process? Like, how do you attract new clients and how do you keep existing clients coming back and returning more often? Those are two things I want you to figure out. Now, your retention rate. Do you measure your retention rate? Do you measure how often you get a new client in the door and then how often do they pre-book with you and come back? You want to make sure you measure your retention rate. If your retention rate's low, that means you have to fix something. And typically you have to fix the service you provide or your personality. You may not just be likable. And if you have a great service and you are likable, you might be marketing to the wrong person who doesn't really jive with you. So change something in your messaging so that way you get the clientele who you vibe with so they keep on coming back to you. So if that's the case and you're vibing with people and they're coming back to you and then you're still not busy, I got to take a look at what's going on in your salon, your front desk. Are you in a really awkward, inconvenient spot? Like, let's figure that out. But if you're crossing all your T's and dotting all your I's, you'll be busy, right? So don't worry about your pricing yet. Fix all that stuff. Make sure your retention rate's up. Make sure all that's good, and then jump your prices up. Because if you raise your prices and you're not good, it's just going to spread word around that you're expensive and you suck. And guys, when I say like you're not good, like don't take it personal. You can get good. Have that conversation with yourself. Some people think they're good at doing hair, and you're really not good at doing hair. I'm sorry. Like, this is an art, and what you think is art may not be your client's version of art. So attract the clients who think your version of art is art. That's all.
Yeah, Artist by Mubin followed up, said, people think I'm too expensive. Too many fly-by-night stylists at lower prices all over the place.
Okay. Like I always say, be the best in your town. Be so good. And people are going to come to you. I mean, how expensive are we talking? Because Ted Gibson's $2,600 a haircut. He's pretty busy.
Yeah, he's booked out for months.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's not about the price.
We looked it up on the show. It's wild.
People will pick a more expensive product. Like, just for instance, there's a study, right? There is 3 bottles of wine. I don't even have an example here. All right, so here's bottle 1, bottle 2. All right. Bottle 3. Are they all on camera, James? Can we see these?
Yeah.
All right, cool. So we got bottle 1, bottle 2, bottle 3. Pretend they're all the same size. This is the most expensive bottle of wine. This is right in the middle. This is the cheapest. These 2 wines are the same price. There was a taste test of the wines. It was out of 100 people. I don't know the numbers fully. It was like 80% of people said this was the best tasting wine. Guess what? These 2 were the same exact wine, same year, same everything. This was a different one. This one won the contest. all because it was more expensive. So it has nothing to do with the wine, has nothing to do with your haircut. I mean, it can't suck your haircut, but like it could literally be the same haircut you're getting for $20 as opposed to $200, and they're going to like the one for $200 better. It's about perceived value. So take price out of the equation. Are you delivering a great service? Is your product great? And when I say product, I mean your blowout, your color, the experience, like the whole product of the salon from the time they book the appointment to the time they pay. Like that's what I say when I mean product. And if that experience is amazing, don't worry about what you're charging. As long as you're the best. If you're literally the best person at what you do, you could charge anything you want. I mean, Rolls Royce is what, $300,000, $400,000 for a car? Ferraris, there's Bugattis. People buy them. It's a fucking car. A Honda Civic does the same thing for the most part. Gets you from point A to point B. But somebody's willing to pay a premium price for a luxury car that essentially does the same thing. It transports you. It's a transportation vehicle from point A to point B. Why are they willing to pay more? A little more luxurious, right? So why are people willing to pay more for your haircut? Answer that question, and then make it true. James?
I don't see any more
All right, cool.
questions.
Nice. All right, guys. Have a great weekend, everyone. If you want to watch some of these Q&As that we chatted about, go to our YouTube channel. I'll put it in the stories later on. We have all of our YouTube lives go on there.
Chat as well.
Some are good. Some are okay. I'm just starting out with this whole podcast thing. I'm 33 in. So they're going to get better and better. If you're listening to the podcast right now, this is episode, 33, James?
33.
Wait till episode 50 because we're going to be cracking. It's going to be amazing. I'm going to get some more like props, maybe some better sound equipment.
Any guests next week?
And we'll have some guests next week. I got a bunch of guests coming on. I'll put them in my story.
We don't need better.
But
have the best
guys, if you have tips on how to do a better podcast, I'm just kind of going off the hip. I'm getting the reps in. And a lot of you guys are waiting to have a perfect situation, but perfectionism is really just procrastination in disguise. Like this is a beginning stage of my podcast that I plan on doing for years, and I know it's going to suck at first, or it's going to be okay. It's going to get better and better, but I'm going to keep doing it. And guess where I'm ahead of? I'm ahead of the person who's waiting for the perfect podcast. I'm 30 episodes in now. So while you're waiting to start your podcast, or you're waiting to post on social media, or you're waiting, there's somebody else out there who's just doing it, and they're going to keep on getting better and better. Because guess what? When you start, you're going to suck too. And then you're going to get better. So just start. Stop waiting. Start the podcast. Start going live. Start posting. Open the salon. Start cutting hair. Take the models. Stop being scared. Don't wait for the perfect opportunity. Right now is the opportunity. Fix your mindset, and let's go. Thanks for watching. You guys are amazing. I'll see you later.